Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Catchy English. I'm Emma, and today I want to share something very close to my daily routine. These are the words that I personally use every single day to boost my English vocabulary. These words are not complicated or difficult, but they are powerful. They are the kind of words that can easily fit into your daily conversations, no matter where you are, and they will help you sound more natural and fluent. Now, let me explain why I use these words every day. Vocabulary is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. If you only learn a word once and never use it again, it disappears from your mind. But if you use a word every day, it becomes part of you. It becomes natural, and you don't even have to think about it when you speak. That is why I choose certain words and repeat them in my conversations, in my writing, and even when I'm thinking to myself in English. For example, one word I love using every day is actually. It's such a simple word, but it makes my sentences sound smoother and more real. If someone asks me, "Do you like tea?" I can say, "Yes, I do." But if I say yes, I actually do, it feels warmer, more natural. It shows a little bit of surprise or extra feelings. That is why I practice it every day. Let's practice together. Imagine you are with a friend and they ask you, "Do you enjoy learning English?" You can answer with me, "Yes, I actually enjoy it a lot." Let's try again with another situation. Someone says, "Do you live in a busy city?" You reply, "Yes, I actually live in a very busy place." Notice how this one small word adds flavor to the answer. Another word I use every day is maybe. It's such a practical word because life is not always certain. Sometimes you don't want to say yes or no. Maybe is the perfect word for that. For example, if a friend asks, "Are you free tomorrow?" and you're not sure yet, you can say, "Maybe I'll let you know." It keeps the conversation soft and polite. Practice with me. Say this sentence. "Maybe I will go for a walk later." Good. Now try another. "Maybe we can meet this weekend." Every time you say, maybe you're practicing how to be natural in English without sounding too strict or too formal. Another word I use daily is because. It's a connecting word, but it's so powerful. It allows you to explain your thoughts, your reasons, your feelings. Without it, your sentences feel empty. For example, if someone says, "Why are you learning English?" and you only reply, "I want to, that's okay," but it feels unfinished. If you say, "I'm learning English because I want to travel and meet new people," now your answer feels full, clear, and confident. Let's practice. Repeat after me, "I'm practicing English because I want to improve my career." Now, another example, I'm reading this book because I enjoy stories in English. Using because forces you to make longer sentences, and this naturally grows your fluency. Another favorite word I use is really. This little word is so useful in daily life. It shows emotion and it makes your sentences stronger. For example, "I'm happy" is fine, but "I'm really happy" feels more alive. "The food was good" is okay, but "the food was really good" sounds much more enthusiastic. Practice with me now. Say, "I'm really excited to learn new words today." Good, another one. This exercise is really helpful for me. Now, let's talk about the word sure. I use it every single day. If someone asks you, "Can you help me?" you can simply say, sure. It's short, it's friendly, and it's natural. It makes you sound confident and easygoing. Practice with me. Someone says, can you open the window? You answer, sure, no problem. Another one, can you tell me the time? And you reply, sure, it's 5-0. Using sure makes your English feel natural in everyday life situations. Another word that I use constantly is really combined with sure. For example, if someone says, do you like this movie? You can say, yes, I'm really sure it's great. This shows both confidence and emotion at the same time. Next, let's practice with sometimes. This is a word I love because it describes real life. Not everything always happens, and not everything never happens. Sometimes is the balance in between. For example, sometimes I feel tired after work. Sometimes I study English at night. It makes your English sound realistic and honest. Now practice with me. Say, sometimes I listen to English music. Again, sometimes I forget new words. When you practice with this word, you train your brain to talk about real situations, not just black and white answers. Another essential word I use is probably. It's polite and it helps you express possibility. If someone asks, will you come to the party? You can say, probably yes, or I'll probably be there. It makes you sound natural, not too direct, not too uncertain, just balanced. Practice now. Repeat, I'll probably go shopping later. Again, it will probably rain today. Using probably gives your sentences a softer, more realistic tone. Let me share another word I love already. This word shows that something happened before now. For example, I already finished my homework. Or I already watched that movie. It gives a sense of time and makes your sentence sound complete. Practice together. Say, I already learned this word. Now I already ate lunch. Notice how this word makes your sentences stronger by adding time information. And finally, for this section, I want to share the word really one more time, but in a different way. Sometimes I use it not to show emotion, but to confirm something. If someone says, I started a new job, you can reply, really, it shows interest, curiosity, and it keeps the conversation going. Practice this with me. Imagine a friend says, I bought a new phone. You reply, really, that's nice. Another one, I traveled last week. You say, really, where did you go? This simple word keeps the conversation alive and natural. So you see, just by practicing and using words like actually, maybe, because really, sure, sometimes, probably already, and really in different ways, you can grow your vocabulary naturally every day. The secret is not to memorize long lists of difficult words, but to take small, useful words and repeat them in your daily conversations until they feel natural to you. Keep going with more words that I personally use every day to make my English sound natural and confident. One very useful word is almost. This word helps you describe something that was very close to happening, but didn't completely happen. For example, if you nearly missed the bus, you can say, I almost missed the bus. Or if you nearly finished your work, you can say, I almost finished my project. Let's practice together. Repeat after me, I almost forgot my keys. Good. Another one, I almost called you yesterday. Notice how this word makes your sentences clear and realistic, because life is full of almost moments. Another everyday word is already, which we practiced before, but now let's expand it a little more. Already shows that something is done earlier than expected. For example, it's only 7 p.m., but I already finished dinner. Or she already knows the answer. Practice now. Say, I already cleaned my room. Good. Now I already watched that movie. Using already makes your English more natural because you're showing the timing of actions. Next, let's talk about just. This word is very common and has many uses, but one of the most natural ways to use it is to mean a short time ago. For example, I just got home. Or, she just called me. Practice with me. Say, I just finished my homework. Another one, I just started learning a new word. Just helps you connect your sentence to the present moment. Another word I use daily is really, which we practiced for emotion. But now let's use it to show truth or seriousness. For example, I really need your help. Or, I really don't understand this problem. Repeat after me, I really want to speak English fluently. Good, now I really enjoy this lesson. Using really in this way makes your message stronger and more honest. Now let's look at never. This is such an important word because it helps you talk about things that do not happen at all. For example, I never drink coffee at night. Or, he never arrives late. Practice with me. Say, I never forget my phone. Good. Now try, I never watch TV in the morning. Using never helps you describe your habits clearly. Another word I often use is always. This is the opposite of never. It shows something happens all the time. For example, I always brush my teeth in the morning. Or, she always takes the bus to work. Repeat after me, I always practice English after dinner. Another one, I always check my email in the morning. Words like always and never are excellent for building simple but clear sentences about your daily life. Next, let's practice sometimes a bit more. Remember, it shows that something happens occasionally. It's very natural in daily conversation. For example, sometimes I feel tired after work. Or sometimes I read books in English. Practice with me. Say, sometimes I study at night. Good. Now sometimes I go for a walk after lunch. This word is useful because life is not always yes or no, it's often sometimes. Another important word I use is maybe, which we practiced, but let's add some more examples. Maybe helps you sound polite and soft when you're unsure. For example, maybe I'll go to the party. Or maybe he is busy today. Repeat after me. Maybe I will call my friend later. Another one. Maybe we can study together tomorrow. This word is so useful for everyday conversations because it shows possibility without being too strong. Now let's look at still. This is a beautiful word in English. It shows that something continues to happen. For example, I'm still working on my project. Or she's still sleeping. Practice with me. Say I'm still learning English every day. Another one, I'm still waiting for the bus. Still is perfect when you want to describe something ongoing. Another word is yet. It's very common, especially in questions and negative sentences. For example, have you eaten yet? Or I haven't finished yet. Practice with me. Say I haven't called her yet. Good. Now I haven't done my homework yet. Using yet makes your English sound very natural, especially in casual conversations. Finally, let's practice too. This word helps you add agreement. For example, if your friend says, I'm hungry, you can reply, me too. Or, I like this book too. Repeat after me, I want to learn English too. Another one, I enjoy listening to music too. It's simple, but it makes your sentences feel friendly and connected. So in this section, we practiced everyday words like almost already, just really, never, always, sometimes, maybe, still, yet, and too. These are short, simple words, but when you use them daily, they make your English flow naturally. The secret is to not just learn them once, but to repeat them in real situations, just like we're doing now. The more you say them, the more natural they become in your speech. Now, let's move to another powerful practice speed training. This exercise is designed to push your brain and your mouth to work faster together. Imagine it like running short sprints for your English speaking. When you practice speed, it doesn't mean you must always talk fast in daily life. No, the goal is different. The goal is to challenge your mouth, your tongue, and your brain to keep up with each other. If you train at a higher speed than usual, then speaking at a normal pace feels much easier. Here's how you do it. Choose a short text, maybe a sentence or two. Read it once slowly to understand it. Then read it again, but faster. Push yourself. Try to speak quicker than feels comfortable. You will make mistakes, but that's okay. The point is not perfection. The point is training your mouth to move quicker. Let's try it together. Take this sentence, learning English every day helps me feel more confident. First, say it slowly with me. Learning English every day helps me feel more confident. Now, a little faster. Learning English every day helps me feel more confident. And now try it really fast, almost like a sprint. Learning English every day helps me feel more confident. Of course, it may sound messy, but your brain and tongue are learning to coordinate at speed. After a few tries, when you return to a normal pace, the sentence will feel easier, lighter, and smoother. Another great practice is using short questions for speed training. For example, what are you doing? Where are you going? Can you help me? Say them slowly first, then faster, then at top speed. Let's practice. Slow. What are you doing? Faster. What are you doing? Fast. What you doing? Notice that when you speed up, the sounds sometimes connect or even change. This is exactly what happens in real conversations with native speakers. Speed training helps you notice those changes naturally. Now, let's add one more layer: breath control. Speaking fast is good practice, but if you run out of breath after every sentence, you cannot continue. This is why controlling your breathing is so important. Here's a simple exercise. Take a deep breath. Now read a sentence out loud without stopping until you reach the end. Try this sentence with me. I want to improve my English because it will help me in my career and in my personal life. Say it in one breath. If you need to stop in the middle, that's fine. Try again and again until you can finish it smoothly. Over time, your lungs and your voice will get stronger. Another trick is to practice longer and longer sentences on one breath. Start with short ones, then increase the length. For example, short, I like coffee. Medium, I like coffee because it gives me energy. Long, I like coffee because it gives me energy, especially in the morning when I need to wake up and start my day. Each time, focus on breathing deeply at the start, then speaking smoothly without gasping for air. This builds stamina for speaking in conversations, presentations, or even interviews. Now let's connect speed training with mindset. Many learners feel afraid of speaking fast because they worry about mistakes. But remember, mistakes are part of learning. When you push yourself to speak quickly, your brain has less time to think, and this helps you develop fluency. It forces you to trust your instincts and the English you already know. Think of it like running. If you only walk slowly every day, running will always feel difficult. But if you practice sprinting sometimes, then jogging feels easy. The same is true with English speaking. Speed training is your sprint. Another benefit is confidence. When you hear yourself speaking fast, even with small mistakes, you begin to feel stronger and more capable. You start to think, wow, I can really do this. That belief is powerful. To make it more fun, you can use music or a timer. For example, play a song for 30 seconds and try to speak as much English as you can during that time. Or set a timer and try to repeat a sentence 5 times in 20 seconds. These little challenges make practice enjoyable and effective. And here's something important after speed training. Always slow down and repeat the same sentences at a normal pace. This way, your brain connects the fast practice with clear natural speaking. So remember this system. Choose a sentence or text. Read it slowly to understand. Read it faster. Read it at top speed like a sprint. Return to normal speed, smooth and confident. Do this every day, even for just 5 minutes, and you will see big improvements in fluency, confidence, and control. Now let's move on and explore another important group of words that I use every single day. Words that describe time and help me share my daily experiences more clearly. One of my favorite words is always. It's simple, but it gives power to your sentences. For example, I often say, I always drink coffee in the morning. It shows a habit, something that is true every day. Using always makes your English sound confident because it describes a strong routine. Let's practice together. Repeat after me, I always practice English before I sleep. Another one, I always write down new words. Each time you use always, you are showing that something is part of your life, not just a one-time action. Another useful word is never. This is the opposite of always. It's a strong word that expresses something you do not do at all. For example, I never smoke. I never skip breakfast. These sentences feel clear and firm. Practice with me. Say, I never forget my English lessons. Another one, I never feel bored when I'm learning. Using never gives your English strength and certainty. But life is not always or never. Sometimes it is in the middle. That is why the word often is so helpful. It describes something that happens many times, but not all the time. For example, I often read before bed. I often listen to English podcasts. This word gives balance to your sentences. It feels real and flexible. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I often watch English videos. Another one, I often talk to myself in English. These are natural ways to show your habits. Now, another time word I use every day is usually. It is very close to often, but it feels a little stronger. For example, I usually take the bus to work. I usually eat lunch at 12. This word shows what normally happens in your life. Practice now. I usually review new words in the evening. Again, I usually practice speaking with a friend. These small words, always, never, often, usually, are extremely powerful because they help you describe your real daily life. Now let's talk about words that help us describe the present. The word now is so useful. It keeps your conversation in the moment. For example, I am studying now. I can't talk now, I'm busy. Now makes your English feel direct and alive. Practice with me. I am learning new vocabulary now. Another one, I am practicing with Emma now. See, you are bringing the focus to the present moment. Another related word is today. This is a word I use daily because it gives clear time context. For example, I feel happy today. I don't have much work today. It helps you speak about what is happening in your life right now. Repeat after me. Today, I am practicing English. Today, I want to learn something new. By using today, you make your English practical and connected to real life. Now, let's explore the word tomorrow. This is a word I use to talk about the future. For example, I will call you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I want to go shopping. Simple, clear, and powerful. Practice tomorrow. I will practice English again. Another one. Tomorrow I will watch another lesson. Notice how this one small word helps you create future sentences naturally. And of course, the word yesterday is also part of my daily vocabulary. It allows you to talk about the past. For example, yesterday I studied for 2 hours. I met my friend yesterday. It gives you the ability to share experiences from the day before. Practice together. Say, yesterday I learned 5 new words. Another yesterday I watched an English video. This simple word connects your English to the past. Now let's put these words together. Imagine you are telling a short story about your routine. You can say, yesterday I studied English for an hour. Today I am practicing with Emma. Tomorrow I will learn more. Just by combining yesterday, today, and tomorrow, you can easily talk about your life in English. Let's practice one more important word every. This word helps you describe repeated actions. For example, I practice English every day. I exercise every morning. It makes your sentence sound disciplined and strong. Repeat with me. I write new words every evening. Another one, I listen to English every day. When you use every, you show consistency, which is the key to real improvement. These time words may look simple, but they are very powerful. With always, never. Often, usually, now, today. Tomorrow, yesterday. You can describe your routines, your habits, your past, and your future. These are the exact tools you need for real conversations. The more you use them, the more natural your English will feel. And remember, learning English is not about knowing hundreds of complicated words. It's about mastering simple, powerful words that you can use every single day. We've now reached the final part of our journey together. Over the last lessons, I've shown you how small, everyday words can become powerful tools for your English. Today, I want to help you put everything into practice so that these words truly become part of the way you think and speak. Let's start with a review. We've practiced words like actually, maybe, because, really, sure, sometimes, probably, and already. Each one has a simple form, but the more you use them, the more natural your English will sound. The first thing I want you to do is imagine a normal conversation in your daily life. For example, imagine you're meeting a friend in the morning. They might ask you, "How are you?" Now, instead of just saying, "I'm fine," try adding one of our words. "I'm actually feeling really good today." See how much fuller that sounds. Let's keep going. Imagine your friend asks, "What are you doing later?" You could say, "Maybe I'll go for a walk, or I'll probably study some English." Both sound natural, simple, and true to daily life. Now, what if your friend asks, "Why are you always practicing English?" You can respond, "Because I really want to travel and make international friends." Again, notice how "because" gives you the chance to build a longer, more confident answer. I want you to practice this in real life. The next time someone asks you a simple question, try to use one of these words in your reply. At first, it might feel a little slow or unnatural, but with practice, it will become automatic. Let's do another example together. Imagine a coworker asks, "Did you watch the movie last night?" You can say, "Yes, I already watched it." Or, "No, I didn't. Maybe I'll watch it tomorrow." Simple words, but they keep the conversation moving. Here's another one. A friend says, "I bought new shoes." You can reply with interest, "Really? That's great." This one small word shows curiosity and makes you a better conversational partner. Now let's connect everything with a small story. Imagine this situation. You're at a cafe with a friend. They ask, "Do you like this place?" You answer, "Yes, I actually come here sometimes." Then they ask, "Will you try the cake?" You reply, "Maybe I'll probably order it later." Then they say, "I already tried it yesterday. It's really delicious." You respond, "Really? Then I'll definitely try it today because I love sweet food." See how natural that whole conversation sounds. And yet all we used were the simple words we've been practicing together. This is exactly why I wanted you to focus on these words. They are the building blocks of everyday English. Another way to make these words part of your daily life is to practice self-talk. That means talking to yourself in English during the day. For example, if you're cooking, you can say, in your mind, "I'm actually hungry. Maybe I'll cook something simple. I'll probably eat rice because it's quick. I already have some vegetables. That's really good." By practicing like this, you are training your brain to think in English, and soon these words will flow naturally whenever you speak. I also recommend writing short journal entries using these words. For example, right today, I'm actually tired because I worked a lot. Maybe I'll relax tonight. I'll probably read a book. I already finished my homework, so that's good. I'm really happy about that. Just 4 or 5 sentences like this every day can help you keep the words fresh in your mind. Now, before we finish, let me remind you of something important. Learning English is not about memorizing thousands of rare words that you never use. It's about making the words you already know feel natural, automatic, and alive. These small words actually, maybe, because really, sure, sometimes, probably already are the words that native speakers use all the time. If you master them, you'll sound more fluent than someone who memorizes advanced vocabulary, but never uses it correctly. So here's my final challenge for you over the next week. Choose 2 or 3 of these words every day and focus on using them. Write them down, say them out loud, and try to use them in every conversation you can. For example, on Monday, focus on actually and because. On Tuesday, focus on maybe and really. By the end of the week, you will notice a big change in how naturally these words come to you. And remember, don't worry about mistakes. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to practice until these words feel easy. Even if you use them in the wrong place, sometimes that's okay. Every mistake is practice, and every practice makes you stronger. As we close this lesson, I want you to repeat a few sentences with me. Ready? I actually enjoy learning English every day. Maybe I will practice more tonight. I'm learning because I want to grow. This is really helpful for me. Sure, I can do this. Sometimes I forget, but I keep going. I'll probably improve if I stay consistent. I already know more than I did yesterday. Did you notice something? Those 8 sentences used all the words we practiced together. If you can say these naturally, then you're already much more fluent than when you started. So keep practicing, keep using these words in real life. Keep reminding yourself that English fluency doesn't come from speed, but from steady daily use. And remember, I'll always be here with you, guiding you step by step. You are not just learning English, you are building confidence, expression, and connection. And that is the true goal of language learning.